Hey everybody, welcome to that vinyl channel. I'm that vinyl guy Boz. On this episode, I'm going to be talking about something that I've heard often in the VC and by record collectors in general that I really don't understand too much. At least my experience with this might be different. I don't know, but basically, people are saying that if records are new old stock, okay, and what new old stock is records that were made 20, 30, 40 years ago, but they're still sealed, nobody's bought them, nobody's opened them, or have you, but basically that they're still in the shrink, okay? So records that are still in the shrink for 20, 30, 40 years, whatever, okay, these records warp, okay? And to expect that if you buy a record like this, expect the record to be warped. And that's not my experience. I've had quite a few new old stock records. Last year I bought about 30 or 40 new old stock records from a neighbor down the road, and I've opened about 15, 20 of them. I think one of them might have been warped, maybe two of them, you know, but were they warped because they were still in the shrink? Or were they warped because of a problem with manufacturing? Because even new records are warped. Were they warped because they were stored improperly, or because they were, you know, at some point in, you know, where they were stored at for all that time, they were exposed to some high heat, whatever. But you know, there's nothing really inherent to a record in shrink, in my opinion, that it should warp. Okay, so what I'm going to do here and show you, I have a record here that I actually bought this record in, I bought this record in 2018, but it was actually pressed in 2017. So, and it's relatively a new record. Okay, this is the very best of Billy Idol. Okay, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and show you how this record plays on my turntable. And as you can see here, this record has a warp in it. And it was this way when I bought it back in 2018. I bought it brand new, and it had a warp, as you can see here. So, I mean, if this brand new record can have a warp in it, you know, any record, any brand new record that's sealed could potentially have a warp in it, and it wouldn't be because it was been sealed for 20 or 30 or 40 years. So what I have here is I have 3 records that I pulled out randomly from my collection that I have that I've obtained in the last year or so, and that are new old stock records that are still in the shrink, still sealed, okay? And I'm going to do is right here on camera, I'm going to go ahead and open each one and put them on the turntable, and let's see if they're warped or not. So the first record here is Cheech and Chong's Greatest Hit. This record was released in 1981. That makes this record 41 years old. I got this on eBay for $10, which was actually a pretty good deal considering that VG Plus records of this go for between $6 to $8. But I wanted to get a record that would hopefully be pristine and not played. So with shipping it was $10, which I think was a good deal. But it was a cutout. So you see down here it has this little cut on the bottom here. So this record was a cutout. Here's an original price tag. Not sure if you can see that, but it says it went for $3.99. This record is sealed. It has not been opened. So, yeah, that's the first one I'm going to go ahead and show you. Okay, and the next one here is Bernie Taupin Tribe. Okay, this is one of the records that I mentioned earlier that I got from the neighbor about a year ago. Again, I got a stack of records from a neighbor, and many of them were still sealed, like this one. Okay, originally this one was released in 1987, which makes this record 35 years old. So we're going to go ahead and open it up and take a look at it. This record was actually released in 1982. It's called Beatles Songs, okay? And this is just a bunch of Beatles covers by a bunch of different artists. Some of these are novelty artists like Waldman Fisher and Alan Sherman, and some of them are not, like the Four Preps and Casey Kasem. So, but either way, these are Beatles covers, and this record is 40 years old. Okay, so let's go ahead and open the first record. I'm gonna do it right here on camera. Not sure how it's gonna come out, but I'm gonna give it a try. Let's see. Okay, and take it out of the sleeve. And that is the record right there. And let's go ahead and walk over and put it on the turntable and see if it's warped or not. Okay, and this is the Cheech and Chong's Greatest Hits record. So we're going to go ahead and turn this on, and we're going to go ahead and take a look and just see what it looks like. I think that looks pretty flat. What do you think? Okay, and the next record was the Bernie Taupin record. Let's go ahead and get this opened up. Again, I'm going to try to do it on camera. I think y'all can see this. But there you go. I just use my knife to slice open the cellophane. Come on. There we go. And go ahead and get the record out. Okay. This one has a nice inner sleeve with some lyrics on it. And that's that record, and that's what that record looks like. And let's go ahead and walk over and see if this record is warped or not. Okay, and here's the Bernie Taupin record. I have it on top of the record player. It's in here, and we're going to head to turn this on and take a look. So once again, I think this looks pretty flat to me too. And finally, the Beatles Songs record. Let's go ahead and get this opened up. Make sure y'all can see that. Now, I totally picked these records at random. I just walked over to, I have a place in the back here where I keep records that I got in but haven't played yet. So I didn't really spend a whole lot of time. I spent less than a minute just digging through, just looking at, see if I can find any of the sealed records that I had. So I didn't specifically pick these out for any reason other than that they were sealed. But that's what this record looks like. Okay, it's on the Rhino label. And go ahead and get it out of its sleeve. And there you go. That's what that record looks like. And let's walk over and see if this record is warped. Okay, and here is the Beatles Songs record. We're going to go ahead and take this on, put it on, and go ahead and take a look at it. And again, this looks pretty flat to me. Okay, so there you go. So I've played all three of these records. Now I know some of you are thinking, you know, that's not a really big sampling, and it's not. You know, it's only 3 records. Okay, but as I've shown you, at least these 3 records, they were in the shrink for one of them for 30 years, the other 2 for at least 40 years. So these have been in the shrink for quite a while actually, and all 3 of these, they were. I mean, they were totally flat. I don't think any record is 100% flat, but they were flat. So, you know, I didn't see any warps in these records at all. So again, you know, not sure how this myth came about. That I consider a myth because in my experience, you know, these records aren't warped. There's no reason why a record is sitting in the cellophane, sitting sealed for 30 or 40 or longer years would necessarily be warped, in my opinion. Now, if you know a reason why these records would be warped, if your experience is different than mine, I would love for you to go ahead and put a comment down below and let me know your experience. If you know of the reason why people think that that new old stock records in the shrink, you know, would probably be warped, I would love to hear your opinions and your comments about that. But again, in my experience, that's not the case. So, but that's pretty much all for this video. I do want to thank you for joining me today. If you have not subscribed to my channel, now is a great time to do so. Go ahead and tap on that subscribe button, and don't forget to bash on that notification bell, and that way you know when I put up new videos. But again, I want to thank you, and I'll see y'all next time.